And welcome to this edition of ACAP Today for Thursday, the 30th of April, 2020. I'm Jason Parent with the Aroostook County Action Program. On today's program, we're going to talk about our home buyer education program with a repeat guest on the program, Greg Doak, who also oversees our mortgage foreclosure counseling program. And so we will be chatting with him about a different program and the launch of that program from a classroom setting to an online platform or a Zoom platform, as we're doing with this program. And he's also going to be joined by a fellow ACAP team member who also happened to be a customer of the home buyer education program, Alyssa Levesque, who's going to be chatting with us about her experience with that program and how the upcoming class may be able to help you in terms of if you're interested in purchasing a new home. But before we do that and get to them, we are first going to share with you the news of the day. And so we do that by sharing with you first and foremost that we do have a program that we are wanting to share with you. First of all, the news that our offices will remain closed till at least May 31st. Services will continue remotely during that period, however, so we do encourage you to continue to reach out to us online or by phone in that time period. It does not mean that our offices at this point will be opening on June 1st, just that we will be reassessing throughout the month of May and making any further announcements, but anticipate that our offices will remain closed to the public until the 31st of May. ACAP-me.org is the place to go if you want to connect with us online. There's also, as you can see from the screenshot here at the bottom of the screen, the request for assistance online. You can click onto that icon, and what will happen is there'll be a form for you to fill out. We will receive that, and then we will be able to reach out to you and look at what programs you might be presumptively eligible for and be better able to help direct you and assist you in the way that we can. A reminder that the IRS economic impact payments or the stimulus payments that are currently available being mailed or being processed directly to bank accounts of individuals. If you have not received yours and have not filed a tax return in the last couple of years, we do encourage you to call us. They will be closing this part of the IRS website soon, and we have an individual who's standing by to be able to help you apply for your stimulus payment if you have not already gotten that. So please do give us a call at 764-3721 if you are in need of assistance with this particular program. We also yesterday released this one-page document to several of our community partners and wanted to make you aware of that. It's available on our Facebook page and on many other individuals' social media presence, talking about specific programs that are available to help during COVID-19 for households who have been economically impacted by the pandemic. And we certainly do encourage you to look at the flyer and reach out to us if you feel that any of these services might be available to you or could be available to you. Please do reach out. We are here and we want to help. The last of our online training opportunities, the workforce virtual workshop sessions, I should say, a little tongue twister there, are available online. This last one on May 7th, next Thursday, on interviewing tips will be offered again via Zoom. Please contact Kathy Williams at the email address on your screen if you are interested in signing up for the interviewing tips workshop. We also want to remind folks that we are hosting a wellness shelter in partnership with the University of Maine at Presque Isle, Maine Housing, and several other partners of ours in the community and the state of Maine for individuals experiencing homelessness. If you or someone you know is experiencing homelessness, please do connect with us or Homeless Services of Aroostook to make sure that we can help you at this very difficult time. We want to make sure that you have a roof over your head. The rent relief program that Maine Housing and ACAP have partnered on, and all community action agencies across the program here in Aroostook County, we've processed 250 applications. And checks are being mailed directly to landlords. If you are impacted economically by COVID-19 and live in a rental unit, please do reach out to us or mainhousing.org/COVID-rent, where you can fill out the application directly online, and we may be able to help you with your rent assistance throughout the month of May here with a $500 credit to your landlord for your rent for the month of May. We also want to remind folks that we are still at this period of time hiring for new employees. We have a couple of current openings available there. And just yesterday hosted our first new employee orientation. So the work at ACAP very much continues, even though most folks are working from home. And we encourage you to check out our hiring section of our website. The Home Energy Assistance Program has this year alone processed nearly 5,000 applications, and we are scheduling appointments in May, June, and up until July 15th. We just learned yesterday that the additional the income look back for households will continue through July 15th for those families that have been impacted by COVID-19. If your household has been impacted economically by COVID-19, by the income coming into your household, please do call us. We will just look at your present income for your household and not have to look back 3 months to a year at your income. So it may make folks eligible who might not have otherwise been eligible for the Home Energy Assistance Program. And even though the weather is warming up this time of year, whatever benefit that you do receive will be on your account for up to a year or until it is fully spent. So please do reach out and call us. Our appointments are generally booked in the fall and early winter months, and this is a great time to apply. The income guidelines for this past season were also expanded, so you may be eligible, if you haven't applied for a few years, you may be eligible this year for the Home Energy Assistance Program, and we have a number of good appointment slots available over the next couple of months. The Head Start program and Early Head Start program are also recruiting for the upcoming season. Please do contact us if you are a woman expecting a child or you have a child, a family with a child up to 5 years of age. 768-3045 is the number if you'd like to learn more about the Head Start program. And don't worry if you're not in a community that's accessible to one of our centers and in a more rural community. We do have a Head Start home visiting program that will come right to your home. So do call us about that if you're interested. And we are also working on an early Head Start program, I should say, for the summer months to help children who were impacted by the loss of classroom time in the late winter and spring months here, assuming that it is safe to open the facilities for this program. We plan on offering that program beginning shortly after the 4th of July. So please do reach out to us if you're interested in getting a slot in the summer Head Start program, I should say, for ACAP. And with that, it's my pleasure now to welcome to ACAP Today two co-workers of mine and great friends of the organization. Greg Doak, first of all, who's a repeat guest. Greg, welcome back to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And Alyssa Levesque, ACAP's HR manager, who also participated in the home buyer education program that we're going to be talking about today. Alyssa, nice to see you.
You too. Thank you.
So Greg, let's start with you and talking about the HomeWorks Home Buyer Education Program that is taught right here at ACAP. Typically that's done in our conference room in more of a classroom setting, but we have some great news for folks who have been waiting for that program. But first, I'd like to hear what it consists of. So talk to us about the program.
Sure. You know, there's been a great demand, despite the pandemic that we're facing right now. It's a great time to buy a house. The interest rates are fantastic. So we've been able to put together a web-based platform to host our home buyer education class. It'll be the first time that we do this in this type of a format. We're excited about it. The class will cover all the same material that we would typically cover if we were doing the class in person. We'll talk about someone's readiness to buy a home. We'll assess their needs, their wants, their desires, put those into perspective and see if we can get those to line up. We talk about understanding your credit history, your credit report, and if need be, how to improve upon your credit. We do talk about managing finances, and we're fortunate that we have area professionals that are typically available to come in and help teach different segments of the class for us. So typically we have a lender that will come in and talk about managing your finances and the costs associated with purchasing a home through specific lenders. It's a little bit different depending on who you go to for a lender. But in a broad sense, it's all very similar. We do talk about real estate professionals. We talk about the difference between a buyer's agent and a seller's agent or a dual agent. We explain those relationships and why one might be more advantageous to someone than another type of relationship. And we really get into a lot of which option is going to be best for you. Is it a 15-year fixed? Is it a 30-year fixed mortgage? Is a USDA loan something that's more attractive to you than a traditional loan? Or is the first-time homebuyers incentive program that's out there the best fit? And in most cases, we find that that is just a wonderful fit for most people. So we cover all those things right down to closing on your home, and then the things to look out for after that you maybe haven't thought about. You know, do you need to buy a snowblower? And given this past winter, I think we might still need one for another month or two to come. But so we cover the gamut of all those things that pertain to buying a home.
Now, I noticed on the list, Greg, it's a couple of thoughts from what you just said. The class, obviously, there's a group of students in the class, and there's a general body of knowledge that's taught, but there's also a very specific nature to the specific situation of the individual students in the class, correct?
Absolutely. And aside from doing just the general in-class setting, if we identify a need that a particular client has, we do also offer pre-purchase counseling to help guide an individual through their particular situation, step by step, you know, one part of the process as it leads into the next part of the process. And it's a hands-on, one-on-one approach that I take in relationship with the client, depending on their situation.
That's great. Now, the other component I noted on the screen is that in addition to getting the home buyers ready to purchase the home, there's also information shared in the class about what comes after the purchase. You mentioned the purchase of a snowblower, but there are costs, there are home ownership costs beyond that, taxes and the like, and so you do set them up for success in terms of what comes next.
Absolutely. In conjunction with the presentation that the lender typically gives, we talk about escrowing an account for your taxes, escrowing an account for your insurance. We talk about looking at the infrastructure of the house. Is the roof 10, 15 years old? In a few years, are you going to have to, face replacing that roof? And if so, let's start budgeting now for those things. So when the time does come for a roof or a water heater, or maybe an upgrade, you'd like to build a garage if it isn't present, you've planned for those things and it's not a financial hardship.
And Greg, there are also, we talked about the course content and the things that folks learn, but there are some great incentives. You teased them a little bit in the in what you were talking about, but some really advantageous reasons why someone, especially a first-time home buyer, who this course is for, would consider and want to be involved in the class. Talk about those.
Maine Housing offers the lowest interest rate going when it comes to home mortgages. Right now, it's at 3.625%, and I really don't think we're going to see that number drop anytime in the next 2 or 3 years. The Fed's incentivized it by lowering it to this point. They're slowly starting to creep it up again to just keep things stable in the market, but now is a buyer's market for that, and the interest rate with Maine Housing is the best. They also offer, upon completion of the course, if you go with a lender that participates in the Maine Housing program, $3,500 towards your closing costs. And for most people, that ties up the majority of their closing costs. In addition, only 1% is required to be put down at the time of purchase. And of that 1%, the cost that you incur for having an appraisal done on the home goes towards your 1%. If you have an inspection done, that goes towards your 1%. And the cost of the homebuyer education course is also applied to your 1%. I've not seen a case yet where those three things I just mentioned, the appraisal, the inspection, and the cost of the course, don't nearly, if not completely, satisfy the down payment.
That's incredible. And Alyssa, you as a customer of this particular program experienced that. So talk about your experience with the course, and talk about also your experience with the incentives that went with it.
Yeah, so I'm still in the process of purchasing my home due to the pandemic. It has been delayed a little bit, but we're getting really close to closing. I know that I've been approved and everything's pretty much good to go. So I'm really excited about that. So I did the course online through eHome America, and it was a self-guided course that Greg had shared with me. So he provided me the resource to do that. And it was very helpful, but listening to Greg speak, I definitely feel like the customers that are going to participate in the live class will have an advantage because they have the opportunity for questions and answers and having that interactive conversation. Greg was very helpful answering any questions that I had along the way through the process. And the course was very well set up, and I was able to stop it and return to it and kind of do it on my own time. But it's really great having that question and answer opportunity. And also, I know that Greg has guests come in to speak about different facets around home buying. And so I think that that will be very advantageous for our customers. But the really great thing was that I was able to participate remotely at a time that I wasn't able to attend. And I kind of had a very quick turnaround on making a decision to buy a home. So as far as the incentives go, I didn't have to have a lot of money saved up in order to be able to do it. 1% down payment is amazing. And I was able to turn it around really quickly to be able to buy my house. Greg was also really helpful with connecting me with the lender and with helping me with insurance and things like that that I needed to make sure that I had lined up in order to close and have a successful home buying experience.
So obviously, many people say, and this is true of many people, that the purchase of a home is the single biggest purchase that they're going to make in their lifetime. The investment that you made to take this class compared to the benefits that you've received, would you say that it certainly paid for itself?
Oh, absolutely, definitely. I was so excited. Well, I'll just say that because the requirement is to be a first-time home buyer, and there weren't any income requirements or any other requirements that I might not meet. So I was really excited to be able to take advantage of it. And the education that I got from the program was so critical because yeah, there's a lot that I didn't know. That was really good.
Is there a nugget or a piece of information, because it is, home buying is very complex, and I didn't have the benefit of taking a course like this, and I'm sure there are things that I probably still don't know as a homeowner, having gone through that process. What's one thing that I think folks might be surprised about, if you can recall, from the home buying process that you had no idea about before you took the self-guided online course?
Funny enough, it's kind of something that's a little bit like common sense. But one of the things that they recommended is when you had your home inspection done, if you could be there in person. I was actually able to be there in person for my home inspection, because then the person who's doing the inspection can show you where things are, like your breaker box and how to reset your fuel, your heating, and just like little things like that that you might not catch on your own if you're looking, because it's overwhelming when you're looking at different homes and you go in and you're trying to kind of absorb everything all at once because you want to make sure that you're making the right choice. But then, you know, like, you forget to look to see if there's the appropriate electrical in the bathroom. So yeah, that was really helpful.
Certainly, I understand and appreciate that, Greg. There's good news. We were talking about it a little earlier. There is a course coming up really shortly where we're taking what would have been an in-person course and moving it into a format like this, a Zoom format. Talk about the excitement and the date and all of the details regarding that course.
It is exciting because we have still had, as Alyssa mentioned, the eHome America option where folks can take the class online, but it really lacks that one-on-one ability to ask questions and to gather information and to explain your individual situation. So May 23rd, Saturday, it is Memorial Day weekend, but hey, we're all stuck at home anyway, right? So from 8 o'clock in the morning, this class is scheduled until 5 o'clock at night, but I can't imagine it's going to go that long. We have streamlined this course so well that you'll log in on a Zoom platform. We'll start the class. We're going to bring in our same presenters, hopefully, that we always use, and we'll teach the class as if folks were sitting right there in the conference room with us. We'll cover all the same information. It'll be interactive. Folks can mute their audio, mute their video, or not. They can be seen or not be seen, heard or not be heard. They'll have the option to ask questions via chat in the Zoom platform, which is great. So if they're a little nervous about asking a question, they can just type it in and, you know, we'll get it. We can answer it. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a fun time.
Guest presenters still going to participate, even though it's on the online platform?
I have a commitment from 2 of the 4 as of today, and we just decided on the date and to launch this last night. So I think it's going to build and work out very well for us. As far as logistics of paperwork that needs to get out to the folks that are going to take the class, we'll be sending out a mailer to individuals with all the course information in it, returned self-addressed stamped envelope for them to send back forms that I need to have back. So it should be pretty seamless, pretty quick.
What have we missed? What have we forgotten or not spoken about, Greg?
The only thing we haven't spoken about is the cost of the course.
Mm-hmm.
It stayed the same. It's $30 for an individual, $50 for a couple. We don't yet have an online payment option. However, if folks want to mail a check-in or a money order with their registration form, once I've mailed them a package, that's great. We are going to be looking at the ability for them to call in and give a debit card or credit card number over the phone and have someone in our finance department generate that transaction for them and mail them a receipt.
Sounds good. Alyssa, anything from your perspective that you wanted to share as a participant in a different version of this class, but with much of the same information that folks should know out there?
Yeah, definitely. I just want to say really thank you to you, Greg, for helping me navigate this. It was such a huge thing that I had to do, as you know, like in a strange time. And I really appreciate your assistance, and I'm really excited about my home. But yeah, I think that you're going to have a really successful class via Zoom, and if I could have waited, I would have, because I would have preferred to participate in that version. But good luck.
Wow. You're more than welcome, and your kind words are much appreciated. Thank you so much.
So the last question I have for my guests, especially during this Community Impact Week, and you certainly have lived up to the impact that our agency is making in the community as it relates to this program for sure, and many others, is your advice for folks out there right now coping with the COVID-19 pandemic, and thoughts about how to best move ahead in these days? Greg, I'll begin with you.
Realize that this too will pass. You know, we're strong as a community. We're stronger together than we are as individuals. And we're fortunate to live in a wonderful area with wonderful, caring, loving people and generous people, and people that support the work that we do at ACAP, people that support the work that other agencies are doing, that are rallying around folks that have lost their job or their businesses have been shuttered. Hang in there and reach out for help. Don't be too proud.
Indeed. Alyssa?
Yeah, I've definitely, my mantra has been one day at a time, just, you know, not getting overwhelmed by everything all at once, and just waking up every day and having a positive attitude, and knowing that this too shall pass. So.
Great advice from the both of you. We just want to remind people before we go today that we are offering that home buyer education program online through Zoom that Greg will be teaching on the 23rd of May, on Saturday, May 23rd. He can be reached at gdoak@acap-me.org or call directly. He has a cell phone on him now at 554-4175. That's his office number that will ring directly to his cell. And he's available to talk with you about the class if you have any further questions, or to help you register for the course. So please do reach out to Greg. And as we prepare to leave you today, a couple of reminders that we are here for you in the form of arousticommunity.com. If you'd like to get help or give help, this is the site to go to. You can post a query online after you've registered for the site. There's no cost for registration, and that there will be folks standing by and other community members that may have a response or a way to assist you. If you'd like to give help, you can do the same. And if you're unable to or prefer not to use the website, please do give us a call at 764-3721 here at ACAP, and we will be able to help you either post the information online for you, or maybe even help you out with whatever it is that you're looking for as a service if we offer it, or to help navigate you to other sources. And then we are all in this together, as our guests have pointed out. Please do look us up on our YouTube channel. We have past editions of this program and some wonderful instructional material from some of our gifted early care and education professionals, prevention professionals, some great programs that are available to the public at large that we encourage you to check out on our YouTube channel. ACAP-info@acap acap-me.org is the way to reach us by email. Check us out on Facebook and on our website as well. And finally, we end as we always do with our snapshot of the day. This is Dave Bubar, who has been busy cleaning, rearranging, and renovating our childcare sites while the kids are away, but being taught remotely from our wonderful and gifted early care and education professionals. Of course, not only did he have to make sure that things were in proper order, but they were running properly and safely. So he takes a moment out here to take a quick check of the slide to make sure it's safe and functioning properly for our children. So with that, Dave, we thank you for all the work that you are doing in our centers at this time for helping to make sure everybody is safe when they return, and we're very anxious for that return to happen. For all of us at the Aroostook County Action Program, I'm Jason Parent. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you again tomorrow for another edition of ACAP Today. Have a great rest of your day.